rules related to the cup that you're going to be serving and using and walking around with. In a CCA, it needs to be a single serve container, can't be glass. And the biggest thing is it just has to display the licensee's name or logo or another identifying mark. We are going to have, before this goes into effect, some informational Q&A sessions with these businesses downtown so that they understand what they need to complete, but also some of these specifics. But really, there's kind of two options that a business could take. You could purchase a bunch of plastic cups with your logo on it, and that's the designated CCA drink. You could also have a distinct cup, and you could affix your logo with a sticker on that or something like that. But either way, when someone's walking throughout the district with their drink that they purchased, ABC or RCPD need to have that identifying mark so that they know where that was served.
The liability falls on the sale, not the consumption. Unless if they're in a licensed establishment. Right?
Every business in the CCA is liable for any alcohol violation that occurs on its premise. But not within the CCA boundaries. So a private business can violate the alcohol statutes or have an alcohol violation on their private business, whether it's possession, sale, or consumption.
Yeah. Okay. So if a minor tried to go into one of these non-licensed establishments, even if they were to choose to participate, it would be on that business to enforce the laws, okay.
It doesn't change the responsibility of the business in that scenario.
Yeah, so you end up having the same issues you have in places that are selling it, as if someone buys it and then pushes it over to a minor. Mm-hmm. It's on the business.
And so I just wonder if that's a concern for some of those businesses, that they will now then have to be enforcing liquor laws that they are probably not at all prepared or trained to enforce.
That's why if they don't want to, they need to put that sign up that says, "Don't come in."
Yeah, but if somebody really wants to come in, they still have to enforce that.
Yeah, whether you sell alcohol or not, carding individuals who are bringing alcohol into your business is probably a pretty safe practice, one you might be implementing. The awareness of our businesses is something that we'll need to work with DMI and others around this issue. Just because somebody walks in with a well-marked cup and it's plastic doesn't mean they possess or have been consuming that legally.
I found this presentation to be a bit lacking in some information that is usually presented to the Commission when we make legislative decisions. Those are a clear understanding of the demand for this change, a very clear understanding of the risks associated with it and how those will be mitigated, and then the costs breakdown. As far as demand goes, Ms. Snyder mentioned the general feelings of a survey, but surveys don't have feelings. What are the numbers? How many businesses polled wanted this out of how many businesses were polled? Actual data. As far as the risks associated and how they'll be mitigated, for example, my business is within the CCA. Where my business is located, there are unmanned interior hallways. Insofar as it is the landlord's responsibility now, if people are in there drunk, is he going to have to now hire a security guard to manage the space? Because he will be responsible for their behavior. And then how easy would it be, perhaps, to steal one of those cups, leave, come back another day, bring your own alcohol in that cup, and ostensibly be walking around with alcohol that was given to them by a bartender who, of course, made sure that they were of age and made sure that they were not being overserved, because those are a bartender's job. The costs associated that I'm concerned with, The additional costs for the groundskeeper, since there will be additional hours and duties for him, a breakdown of the administrative costs for training local businesses and how to actually administer this in their own businesses, the cost to implement and administer the CCA to the city, signage costs, they said where all the signs are going, but not how much they cost, and then the liability costs to the city. As somebody who worked in emergency services, I will tell you, it's a very simple equation. Drunk pedestrians plus cars equals trouble. And I would imagine that a CCA would increase our insurance costs per year because of the additional liability. I would urge you at least to table this, because those are very huge holes in the decision that you were trying to make tonight, if not to strike it down.